say. I see you pointing at my energy drink.
It just makes me laugh because I remember when we first met, you didn't drink coffee, you didn't drink a lot of caffeine, but you've become a father. And now I'm looking over and that, was it an Aloha or whatever it's called?
I thought it was called Aloha too. That's how much, it's called an Alani, I'm told.
Alani. And I saw the 200 milligrams of caffeine on the side and I'm starting laughing. I was like, welcome to fatherhood, brother.
You know what it is? I love the taste. This is not a commercial. This feels like the greatest integration commercial.
100%.
It's not because
ad.
Cassel was pointing at it before we came on. Caffeine really does not affect me that much, which is interesting because everybody else loves it. I hate the taste of coffee, but I don't need the caffeine, so I don't drink coffee. But I had one of those, and I like sugar-free Red Bull too. I like that burn.
Oh yeah.
I think I just like Mountain Dew so much, and I stopped drinking soda. And this is
Were you a Mountain Dew?
Oh, a 3 liter.
I used to love
3 liter a
Mountain
day.
Dew. 3 liters?
Oh yeah, a day.
Oh. So you're used to caffeine.
I'm used to sugar. I was just like dumping a bag of sugar in my belly.
So good.
So I like the taste. I try not to drink it all because who knows what's happening to my body when you pour that in there.
You're just getting jacked, bro.
I don't.
Let's go.
You're just like
I'm just ready to go.
That's
Five more
how
podcasts.
that's how you know it's not a commercial because I'm going. Who knows what happens to your body whenever you put that in there? So a couple things I like to say first is I saw that your daughter committed to play volleyball.
Play volleyball at Brown University. Yeah, she super stoked about it. She went out to a camp, met the coaches, did the campus tour, met a lot of the players, and just kind of fell in love with it. And by the second day of camp, she had texted my wife who was there. She's like, I feel like this is the place for me. And said, I feel like I want to commit. So at the end of the camp, she went up to the coaches and they said, so what'd you think? And she committed. And we've got it all on film. All the players ran up, gave her a hug. It's awesome. And you know what? We couldn't be more thrilled for her. I mean, because the process itself, it can be complicated, can be wear on her in particular, just her psyche or emotional. Just the emotional roller coaster that it is. And now you see kind of this weight lifted off of her shoulders, and we are super, super happy.
And how about Brown?
Brown, I
Okay,
know.
fancy.
Thank God she takes after
What
my
an
mother.
education that's going to be.
Really, really good education.
That's crazy.
Yeah, incredible.
I saw the post and I hit you up and I was like, man, congratulations. And then I saw her post. I guess because I liked yours, it fed me hers. And then I thought about liking it, but then I thought she's a teenage girl. I'm going to lay off.
Yes.
It just felt, everything about it felt right except for the wrong part of it of like liking a teenage girl's Instagram.
Right. And there's a lot of her friends on my feed that'll come up like, follow back. And I was like, that just feels so wrong, right? Like you just as an adult with a daughter their age, it just doesn't seem like it's something that you should ever do is follow back a teenager. So I'm sorry for everybody that thinks that I'm skunking them and I'm not following them back, but you got to get to a certain age. You got to at least be an adult.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. They put out the Madden rankings and, you know, they have the 99ers, which Myles Garrett's a 99er. Jamar Chase is a 99er, but I went back and looked at your Madden rating from back in the day. Oh, God. Did you keep up with this at all?
Never. Thank God. It's probably going to crush me.
So
what was my best one? Let's go. Let's start there.
Do you want your best? Let's go worst first. Let's go worst first. Your worst Madden ranking was from 2019. Was that your last year in the league?
Yeah. I wasn't even in the league in 2019.
Okay, well, they had you in the game.
Okay.
And you were overall a 66.
Okay.
Your throw power was 65 out of 100.
That's not very good. Gosh, the old wear and tear.
Your worst score was your speed. You were a 61.
The caboose could still move.
With a 61 acceleration.
I don't even know what that means.
But if you weren't even in the league.
I wasn't even in the league in 2019.
They were giving you those ratings for just watching on television.
I know. I mean, I was a really, really athletic person working for NBC Sports Boston.
Madden 2012.
2012?
Your best year.
Okay.
You know what? Very respectable. Your overall rating was at 85.
Okay, I'll take that.
Heck yeah, that's solid.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Your lowest was your strength at 62.
My strength? I've always been super strong. What are they talking about? What, do they need to see me run through some dudes' faces? How do you...
Dude, why are you yelling at me? I gotta make the score.
How about these guys? I've seen now that they can go to like the actual Madden, wherever they produce the game, and argue for themselves And don't those ratings now throughout the course of a season, they change based
will
on
change.
performance?
And if you hit you can become a 99er mid-season if you're performing like out of your skull. Because this year, so far, it's Josh Allen, Matt Stafford, Jamar Chase, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Trey McBride, and Myles Garrett. Those are the 6 99ers. But let's say that Justin Jefferson, who's probably 98, has a heck of a year. First 4 games, they can bump up to 99 and show up with a trophy. So you can advocate for yourself, and you can also actually rise anyway. And if you become a 99er mid-season, they show up and give you the trophy.
So anytime you hit 99 based on their analytics, you get a trophy?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, you do. I mean, it's not an.
I don't know.
Yeah, they
don't
bring
know.
you one. It's part of the presentation from
it's
EA
like,
Sports.
Dude, check this out.
It's cool.
You're a 99.
Yeah, that means you're the most elite of the players.
We think of you as the dude.
Your rating was 85. Again, your lowest was strength at 62. Your speed was 69.
That's fair. There's a lot of guys that are faster than me.
Your acceleration was 72. Your highest, what do you think your highest trait was? Because you're overall an 85, so it's a very solid score, but something had to lift you. What do you think your highest trait was of all the traits you could have?
My leadership. I mean, I'm sure they took that into account. No chance they took that into account.
I don't even see that as something that gets a score.
That's not something that we can actually put a number to because you're just so good at it. Accuracy?
Awareness.
Awareness.
So that would just mean
kind of like leadership,
you
right?
know where the blitz is coming from.
Yeah, I know it. I'll check to something and get it out. Okay.
Hey, 85, that's a really good rating. Like, I'm not surprised, but I'm not surprised. I didn't know.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Is that a compliment saying I'm not
I'm not surprised, but I'm surprised.
Bijan just signed a new deal.
He sure did. He got broke off, deservedly so. The guy is spectacular. Probably between him and Jahmyr Gibbs, probably the 2 best backs in the league, just because they not only can run the ball in between the tackles, outside, all that stuff. They got breakaway speed, but how effective they are in the pass game.
If we were tiering them, are they the only 2 in the top tier? Because I think now the Eagles did not play well last year.
Right. Saquon Barkley, you'd put in that same conversation.
I think if we
in preseason last year, right?
And then that's my point. Like Saquon was
Saquon's
awesome after the
still.
But is he up there? And the reason Saquon is so great is because he can run. He can also catch it.
Right.
And same thing with Bijan. Same thing with Jahmyr Gibbs.
Right.
But are these 2 the only 2? Because in that second tier, I think you'd have Saquon. I think you go to San Francisco. I think.
Oh yeah, Christian McCaffrey's up there.
He's second tier.
You think he's second tier? When he's healthy, that's the only issue that you'd have to say about Christian.
But that's part of it, right?
That's 100% part of it.
And then also they're next to the power plant, so who knows what's going to snap over there in San Francisco. You got stuff just snapping like crazy.
Well, then you've got Kenneth Walker, who...
Third tier. He was Super Bowl MVP, but he just won his split time in Seattle.
He did.
With Charbonnet. He's awesome. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think he's been able to prove it. These other guys have been the main back for a whole season.
Well, Jahmyr Gibbs also split time.
Great point. What Montgomery?
Montgomery.
Yeah, Montgomery. Who's who's the Texans now?
Yeah,
that's weird.
Yep.
I had to go there in my head and go did he move?
There's a few of those free agencies that came up where I was like, where is
Mike Evans is the weirdest one for me.
Yeah.
Because he's in San Francisco, right?
49ers. Right. And some of them you're just like, wait, where did they go?
What about James Cook?
I'm going to put him in tier 2.
Okay. Derrick Henry?
Gosh.
At the bottom of tier 2, just age, though.
Yeah, it's just because of the wear and tear. But he's still a freak of nature. I mean, there's nobody that is that physically gifted at that age, but throughout his entire career. And to be that healthy and play as much as he has, and plus that offense fits him because they've got that dual threat with Lamar, so he's going to get more chances to have favorable looks. But still, he's up there.
I would also say I'd put him in tier 1 if he wasn't 50. Like I'm just waiting for him to break. It's nothing about how he performs or that there's been a drop off. It's in my mind, the reason he's not tier 1 is because he's old.
Right.
And they probably are not using him as much as they would had it been 7 or 8 years ago as well. But he does not run a step slower or a step weaker. No. I don't think he does.
No, he doesn't. So, he's all of what's advertised for sure.
So I'll put him bottom of tier 2. You want to throw some more backs at us?
What about the Miami?
Devon Achane was another one.
Too hurt, too small.
Jonathan Taylor.
Oh, we'll
Jonathan
tier
Taylor.
A-Chain.
Okay.
4. Tier 4.
Oh, wow.
Tier 4. No, I'd put him in tier 2 as well.
Not enough body of work. Gets hurt too much. Does not run between the tackles enough for me.
That's all he does is run between the tackles.
Yeah, like this. Oh, I'm hurt. Yeah, that's how he runs between the tackles. That's it.
Jonathan Taylor.
Man, 3 years ago, tier
he's
1.
So good.
Great year last year.
Yeah.
But I don't trust it. He's also getting older. I'm going to go, where are you going to put him?
Tier 3.
Yeah.
It's really hard to put him in tier 3.
I know.
mean,
It's either bottom of tier
these
2 or top
backs
of tier
are
3.
all, you could make an argument.
You got to put him somewhere,
we have
though.
a tier 1. I'd still put him in tier 2.
Who? Jonathan Taylor?
Yeah. Who else we got?
Wait a minute. I haven't decided on Jonathan Taylor. Don't rush me here. I'll go bottom of tier 2. Go ahead.
Okay.
By the way, he said bottom of tier 2 for 3 different players. We're gonna have a muddled bottom.
It's
of
all
tier
a bottom. There is no top of
There's
tier
no
2.
top tier 2.
I know,
There's no just top tier. There's no just tier 2. It is okay. Bottom of tier 2.
Kyron Williams.
He just plays in an offense to me that's just weird.
Tier 3.
Like there could be games where it feels like he doesn't even get the ball. I only talk from a fantasy perspective where it's, he got 7 carries. That's it. He scores a bunch of touchdowns. Where'd you put him?
Tier 3.
Tier 3. Yeah.
Okay, one more. Javonte Williams, Cowboys.
Ooh, I like this.
Bottom of tier 2. Now here's the thing. He was hurt in Denver all the time.
Yes.
Man, what a year though last year with the Cowboys.
He's a stud.
As the guy, the guy. He was the dude. So I'll put him bottom of tier 2. There's nobody in top of tier 2, which is kind of odd.
I'm gonna
for
put
our
him in the
tiers.
top of tier 3.
Okay.
And the only reason I say that, is because that offense is so explosive on the outside that you've got to pay attention to the CeeDee Lambs of the world, and you're going to get a lot more shells and favorable boxes to run against. And within that offense, when shoddy, he's going to run against advantageous looks. So it's an advantage to the running back, I'd say.
Yeah, I think the Cowboys are talking about their running back situation. If he just performs 3/4 of the way that he did last year and Pickens stays healthy and CeeDee Lamb stays healthy in their offensive line, defensively, I'm not going to say defensively they're loaded, but defensively they're strong now.
Right. Now that you got to show up and prove it.
All they needed was a couple stops last year. Their defense was shredded cheese. If they just were cheese without the holes in it, if they just weren't if they were Gouda cheese last year, they would have won so many more games. Yeah, the Cowboys
it would be great
annoyingly are going to be good.
And it would be great for the league for the Cowboys to be good.
I agree.
Because they're a great conversation point. They are, so to speak, America's team, which you can make an argument for a number of others. But if that team's competitive and back in the playoffs, it just brings a lot of eyes to the NFL. Not that they really need it at this point with the success they've had.
All right, let's do one situational awareness. I'll go first. You're in training camp, and the rookie quarterback has one good throwing session in front of the media. Suddenly, everybody online says he should start over you week 1. How do you handle this?
You don't. You just go back out to practice the next day and wait for him to mess up. It's so typical, and every publication does it, and every city does it, where a guy goes out and you're in the start of training camp, you're in shorts and probably shells and a helmet, and some guy throws, because they calculate everything from one-on-ones, and they don't realize one-on-ones a lot of times. These DBs understand where the cut split is, where this is, so they're jumping routes, and so it's not always favorable for that wide receiver to win. But they'll count, he threw an interception in that period, or a guy could fall down or something like that. So when you're in training camp and you're in the grind of it all, I don't even pay attention to anything being said in the media. I don't really care at that point because it's just noise. You just have to get through it.
Man, that's high awareness right there.
Yeah. Well, it took a little while.
That's 85 awareness if I've ever heard it.
I definitely remember my rookie year. I think I might have told this story before, but Doug Flutie had this great article in the Boston Globe, and it was just nothing but positive remarks about him, his career, everything that he's accomplished. And I said, Doug, have you seen this article? It's awesome. You should read it. He goes, no, I never read anything good, better, and different, because one day they love you, the next day they hate you, and he's been through that roller coaster before, so he just stays away from it. And he said, that's how I keep mentally strong throughout. So it definitely struck a chord. All right, you're 10 minutes into a drive, and you realize you forgot the diaper bag your wife told you to get. What's your play?
Is she with me?
No, she's waiting for you. If she's with you, you're 100% turning around.
Yeah. I think I'm 100% turning around the other time too.
Yeah.
I think I have to. I'm just my eyes got big because that question made me scared.
Right? When you walk out and
I'm
she's
not scared of much.
You're supposed to grab this, and this,
God.
or you forget the bottle. And
I turn around.
And you go. And you could be 30 minutes into a drive.
I turn
and
around.
Still, like, you're 10 minutes out and you're like, oh my God.
Never even knew the need of a diaper bag. I thought, well, we can just get diapers anywhere, put a few in our pocket, but it's so much more than just a diaper bag.
They have so many accessories in
It's
there.
like grandma's purse. You need a Werther's Original, you need an EpiPen, you need diapers, you need a catcher's mitt. I mean, you got to have everything in that just in case. Yeah, that kind of made my heart skip. My heart flutter a little bit because I was like, oh, God.
It's the worst.
We're going to take a break. Brandon Walker is coming on with us. We'll talk college football for a little bit. That comes first before the NFL. So as far as when football starts back, college football's first. We're just a few weeks away. So Brandon Walker from Barstool Sports is going to join us. He's got the Brandon Walker College Football Show. So we'll take a break, come back with Brandon right after this. All right, we're going to bring in Brandon Walker from Barstool Sports and the highly anticipated Brandon Walker College Football Show. Man, everywhere I go on the streets, people are like, have you heard that Brandon Walker has got a college football show again?
Everybody's talking about it. I mean,
everywhere I go. I'm a massive fan of Brandon. Seriously, if there's somebody who knows SEC football, if there's somebody who knows college football in general, like he's the guy, and this is the show. Here he is, the wonderful Brandon Walker. Hey, Brandon, how are you, buddy?
What's up, boys? How you doing?
I played on Brandon's trivia team at Super Bowl.
Oh, yes, I remember.
So Matt and I went out to the
right.
Super Bowl together, and I went and played on Brandon's trivia team, and it was like I got invited to play in a charity basketball game and never got put in the game. And I just sat on the side, and they did it all.
I thought you guys did pretty well.
No, I stood up there.
Yeah.
But I didn't
You
really,
didn't answer any questions.
I think they forgot I was even at the table. So...
And I apologized to you beforehand how I was going to act and how I was going to be a bag, and I was a complete jerk that night. So I apologize, not to you, but to the other team. That's just how I get during those trivia competitions.
Yeah, so just wanted to get all that out. But I am a massive fan of this guy.
Thank you.
And let's talk college football. And why don't we start with this first? Is the SEC finally going to win one of these things, or do I have to keep hearing from all these Big 12 jokers? Or Big 10, Big 10 jokers, sorry.
If I had to bet right now, I would probably put my bet on a Big Ten team. And much like the early SEC dominance when it happened 20 years ago, when you all of a sudden out of nowhere you get Florida wins one, LSU wins one, Alabama wins one, Auburn wins one in a 5-year window, I think I would bet you're going to have your fourth straight Big Ten team, your fourth straight different Big Ten team, because I think Oregon should be the betting favorite. I think Oregon is loaded. They're the best team. And if you follow the clues, like Michigan got to the playoff a couple times, finally broke through and won it. Ohio State got to the playoff a couple times, finally broke through and won it. Indiana kind of went against the grain, although they did make it once, then they won it. Now Oregon they've been on the green a couple of times in these playoffs. Now they got to make the putt. I would say if you asked me to place down a bet on the conference to win the national title, it would be the Big Ten because they have Oregon this year.
How much of it do you think is due to the fact that NIL, transfer portal, all those things have come about that doesn't allow the Alabamas, the Georgias, the LSUs to just backload the back of their roster with 5-star and they have to wait, but now these guys can transfer, go somewhere else, and kind of levels the playing field?
Well, yeah, I mean, you just hit it. I mean, it has flattened out the top of the sport. There is no elite team. Saban can't sit on top of the sport and hoard all the 5-stars, and his third best linebacker was like the 14th best player in all the country in high school last year. It can't do that. So it flattens it out. More people are going to Oregon. More people are going to Ohio State, although Ohio State was getting them anyway. But yeah, the top of the sport is not as high as it was. It brings it down and it flattens it out, makes more opportunity here at the table. Indiana takes advantage of that. You've got other Big Ten teams taking advantage of that. But yeah, it doesn't allow Alabama, Georgia, or Ohio State, frankly. Like let's not be. I hate the narrative when people say, "Oh yeah, those SEC teams can't pay everybody anymore, so the Big Ten teams are rising up." You mean to tell me the powers that be in the Big Ten didn't know how to play the game before? You tell me Ohio State didn't know how to play the game? They did, but it has absolutely flattened the rosters where they're not as dominant as they used to be, opening up to more conferences, more teams, more players, more everything.
If Kalen DeBoer wins 8 games, let's say maybe 9 games at Alabama, is that seat hot?
I think 9 games, he's relatively safe, especially if you bring along the freshman quarterback, and by the end, you can tell he's got star quality and star power, and you build based on him. But if they were to win 8 games, you need to tell me which 4 they lose, because if one of those losses is Auburn, if one of those losses, is LSU, if one of those losses is a team they don't need to, let's say that one of those losses is Mississippi State when they come to Starkville in October, that heats your seat up real quick. I think the line between 9-3 and 8-4 is more stark at Alabama than anywhere this year. 9-3, he's safe. I think at 8-4, he gets fired, because then you would have been 9-3, 10-2, 8-4. He got blown out in the playoff last year. He got beat by Vanderbilt in year 1, got beat by Florida State last year. And if he loses a game they think he should win this year, he's in big, big trouble.
What are your thoughts about the top teams? Like, you've got Texas, you've got, let's say, LSU in the SEC right now, but who's a dark horse that you might think could compete not only for a playoff spot but for a national title this upcoming season? Are
you saying just in the SEC?
Just in the SEC. Just in the SEC. That maybe somebody's not talking about.
Let me go through that. And I think there's a team that I have not been high on, but as I look at their schedule, it makes a lot of sense. I'm going to eliminate some teams along the way here. Texas, yes. Georgia, yes. They're in the playoff conversation. LSU, I believe, has the roster to compete in the playoffs. I'm not sure they have the quarterback, but I'll say they're yes. I think Ole Miss comes out of that spot due to losing one of the best coaches in the country. The one team that I would say is in the middle of the league that you really need to look at based on their schedule, based on their upgrade in coaching, and if they can get quarterback play, are the Florida Gators. The Florida Gators, in my mind, they bring back a defense who is pretty good. They bring back Jaden Ball, who's a really good running back. They bring back a loaded receiver room. If they can get quarterback play, their schedule is very easy. I was looking the other day. They have Ole Miss at home in September. If they win that, they're going to be 6-0. They're going to be 6-0. They're going to be 6-0 looking at, I believe, Texas, Oklahoma, Georgia, something like that. Maybe Alabama, Oklahoma, Georgia. Anyway, there's a 3-game stretch in there that's very tough. But the path to 10-2, if John Summerall is as good a coach as I think he is very much there for Florida. And that's not a team that I would have thought that going into the season.
I'm a lone Arkansas guy in a house and a family of Oklahoma fans. Sure. My wife and all of her family diehard Oklahoma. And I saw a picture of Mateer with no shirt on. Looked a lot like myself, if I'm being honest. I thought it was a mirror. I thought it was a shot of me playing quarterback.
Sure.
I was looking at ESPN Analytics, and they had Arkansas with the hardest schedule. They had Oklahoma with the second hardest schedule overall. But Oklahoma, according to you, could be a team that surprises people. Why so?
So last night, I used a clip of Joel Klatt, one of the great voices in college football. He said there's 7 teams that can win the national title. And it's the 7 teams everybody talks about, Miami, Notre Dame, Ohio State, Georgia, Oregon, Indiana, a couple others. Anyway, he didn't have Oklahoma in that group, and the more I look at Oklahoma, the more I believe they belong, because if you look at how teams have won national titles in their last couple of years, they get to the playoff, and then that defense takes over. They just choke teams out. Indiana got to the Big Ten championship game last year. Their defense just choked Ohio State out, and Oklahoma's going to have a defense like that. And for 6 weeks last year, John Mateer was a presumptive Heisman favorite. Then he got hurt. If they can get enough offense, they have a very tough schedule. But if I'm going against a tough schedule, the one thing I want is an elite defense that travels. That's going to travel to Michigan. It's going to travel. It's going to play Texas A&M. It's going to travel to Texas. It's going to do all these things. Like, I think Oklahoma can be a team that goes 10-2 because their schedule's so tough. They're not going 12-0. They're probably not going 11-1. But if they go 10-2 and get in the playoffs, they're this year's Miami. Remember when Miami went 10-2 last year, barely snuck in, and when they got there, that defensive line just absolutely wrecked everybody and just dominated A&M, dominated Ohio State? That's the path for Oklahoma this year. I think they can win a national championship based on that defense.
When you go to the Big Ten and you talked about scheduling and how important scheduling is. One of the teams that I'm looking at that had a complete overhaul is Penn State. But you look at their schedule, and they've got one of the most favorable schedules in all the Big Ten, maybe possibly in the country. Do you think for this first year under Matt Campbell that they have the ability to possibly break into the playoffs, even though there's been so much turnover?
So I think that's the dirtiest secret in the sport right now is this 12-team playoff has allowed spots for teams who get there based solely on their schedule. Texas A&M did it last year. That was not a great team. That was not a great team at all, but their schedule didn't punish them ever, and they end up going 11-1 and getting to the playoff. A couple of years ago, Tennessee snuck through with a bad SEC schedule. Indiana snuck through with a bad Big Ten schedule. SMU snuck through with a bad schedule. All of those teams got to the playoff. And this year, Penn State just brings over Iowa State. They bring over the coach. They bring over the quarterback. They bring over everybody. They're going to stock the roster with guys who have been around. Their toughest games, I believe they have 3 tough games on the schedule, 3 relatively tough games on the schedule. They're at Washington. They're at they got USC at home, and they're at Michigan. That's your 3 toughest games. If they go 1-2 in those games, they're probably going 10-2, and they're probably going to be in the playoff. And it's probably going to look like Matt Campbell is a savior, even if it might not be true. It's just these large super conferences have allowed these holes and these gaps where sometimes you get lucky, and 7 of the teams on your schedule are the 7 worst teams in the conference. That's what happened to A&M last year.
Well, not a super conference, but an easy freaking schedule, but also a great team. And I think how easy their schedule is could at times taint how good Notre Dame is.
Yeah.
But I think Arkansas could win 8 or 9 games against the schedule that Notre Dame is playing, right?
Yeah, I mean that's certainly a truth we've lived with in the SEC for a few years, for decades now, Bobby. Right? Like you've had years, Arkansas's had years, Mississippi State's had years where we look around the country, we're like, if we were in the Midwest, we'd win 8 games this year. Unfortunately, we live in the richest neighborhood in the world, and all these mansions around us are just destroying us. But yeah, there are certainly times, or there's certainly teams that could win against Notre Dame's schedule. But there are 2 teams this year, Notre Dame and Miami, that have weak schedules. But I don't think it matters because the team is so good anyway. I understand sometimes you can point to a team's schedule and say that's why they're good. That's not why Notre Dame is good. Notre Dame's going to be good because of their elite defense, having one of the best players in the country in Leonard Moore, having a great quarterback. That's why they're good, and the schedule is just going to be a byproduct of that.
Don't you think, though, that puts a lot more pressure on Notre Dame? Because last year, right, they lose 2 games. They lose to Texas A&M. They lose to Miami in the opener. But at the end of the day, there's no room for error when you have a schedule like that.
Yeah, but Matt, isn't that the kind of pressure you want? Do you want the pressure that says? Do you want the pressure that says, oh, you're in a great conference and you're going to play 8 top 10 teams, or you want the pressure that's like 10 of your games are going to be against teams that have no chance being on the field with you? That's the kind of pressure I would welcome if I'm a Notre Dame fan.
What about Matt's USC Trojans? Underperformed. Lincoln Riley really hasn't done what he's been paid to do, but will he do it this year?
It's the great mystery because somehow, and I don't know how, somehow every single year they look intriguing coming into the season. Somehow every single season you get to August and you look over there at Lincoln Riley and you look a couple years ago, you look, oh, he's got Miller Moss. Oh, he's got this guy. Oh, he's got now Jaden Maava. He's always got something. He's always got a hood ornament to put on the car that makes you forget the car is a piece of shit. USC usually has something you can point out to say they're going to be good for this reason, but the defense is going to be bad. Well, now the defense looks like it's a little bit better. I look at USC with a grain of salt, knowing that I think what I see is a recipe for success, but Lincoln's got to do it before I believe in it.
Let's talk Heisman Trophy. Who are your Heisman Trophy front runners? And also, is Arch Manning legitimately a guy that should be in that conversation right now based on his performance last year?
Yeah, no, I think it's exactly because of his performance last year he's been in the conversation. Here's one of the ball knower things that if you just put this out in the world, people will respond to you with complete anti-ball knower takes. You'll say Arch Manning is going to be a Heisman Trophy finalist this year. And they come back and they say, you only say that because of his name. You only say that because he's a 5-star. You only say that because he is at Texas or whatever, because of who he is. That's the only reason you say it. No, I say it because I watched a guy wait his turn at Texas, and when he got on the field last year was awful in September. But by October, he started putting it together. He started developing. We've forgotten how to let a quarterback develop. We've forgotten how to let a guy take lumps. We've forgotten how to let a guy become who he is. And for September, he wasn't good. And by the time Texas-Oklahoma rolled around, he started being pretty good. And by November, he was damn good. And did you see him in the bowl game? He was incredible. He took he took his tools, he took his talents, he took his name, put it all together in a season, and it all rolled into being great at the end of the year. And I think he's going to come in. He has no excuses. He's got Cam Coleman on one side. He's got Ryan Wingo on the other. He has 2 huge transfer running backs behind him. He's got a great offensive line in front of him. He is going to be a Heisman finalist. The other guys, it's a little bit boring when you come into this time of the year because it's going to be the same 4 or 5 guys. I do have one crazy outsider that I'd like to throw you guys as far as a Heisman finalist. And it's we all know every 10 years, maybe every 5 years, a guy gets to the Heisman finalist to the Heisman ceremony because of his story. There's a guy in Missouri who's the best running back in the country who got shot in the offseason. I don't know if you guys saw it. He got shot with a gun, and that sucks as a football player. You never want to see that happen. He got shot, but if you hear he's medically cleared to play football. He's not practicing yet, but he's medically cleared to play football. It's kind of a mystery how much we're going to get of Ahmad Hardy. I don't know if he's going to play 3 games, 6 games, 12 games. But he is a long shot to win the Heisman. I know this. Healthy, he's the best running back in the country. And if he were to come back and play at a high level, is there a story in college football better than this guy getting shot in the offseason and coming back and being the best running back in the country? That's a Heisman. I could do that Heisman video right now. I could produce that right the hell now, and you would be like, oh, tears would come out of your eyes.
You mentioned a minute ago that you didn't love LSU's quarterback situation, but didn't they get Levitt from Arizona State? Do you not love him?
No, I don't. I thought he was okay. 2 years ago when they went to the playoff, he had one of the best receivers in the country in Jordan Tyson and one of the best running backs in the country in Cam Scatterbo. Last year, Scatterbo was gone, and he just had Tyson, and they struggled a little bit. He had some games toward the end of the season, and I know he had some injury issues. But on his own, I've never seen the kind of arm talent and the kind of leadership and the kind of field generalship that you need to see out of a national title winning quarterback. The thing that LSU has that I think is great for them is if you don't have that field general thing, if you don't have the elite quarterback, then go to Lane Kiffin. He'll make you that. He is a quarterback whisperer. He is a guy that's going to get the most. He is an offensive genius. So I believe in Lane's ability to go to the playoff. I believe in Lane's ability to win the national title. I believe in LSU with their roster, their ability. I just don't believe in the quarterback yet.
Let's go to the ACC. You talked about Miami, but
why?
How about a team like why? Yeah, exactly. But what about Louisville? I mean, you talked about scheduling too early on. They've got a favorable schedule as well.
They have an incredible schedule. Their schedule is pretty much done by like the middle of September. They open with Ole Miss in Nashville, which is a sneaky, dangerous spot for Ole Miss, man. Pete Golding's first game as the boss going forward. It's in Nashville, which is, I'm pretty sure, sneaky close to Louisville. They're going to be excited. And then in week 3, they play SMU at home, who's the other kind of contender outside of Miami in the ACC. They've got, they got a coach who's been putting this roster together for a couple of years. They got the transfer quarterback. I think Louisville is a very, very, very good sneaky playoff team.
Let's walk through 3 of the coaches that have joined the SEC. You got Will Stein coming over from Oregon as the offensive coordinator there. You got Golish coming from South Florida. You got our guy at Arkansas coming over from Memphis. Rank them.
So it's Golish, it's Stein, and it's Silverfield.
Yeah, suck it.
So I'm not trying to say this to dig at you or anything, but even I look at the fan bases from afar, and Kentucky fans are giddy with excitement. Auburn fans are kind of as giddy as they can be. They've been beaten down the last couple of years, but Bobby, I don't even think Arkansas fans are in love with Silverfield. I could be wrong, and you've probably met the man, you probably know him, but am I misreading that Arkansas fans aren't over the moon, or they just been burned too many times?
We are downtrodden. We are beaten. Let me read you this. This was from an article that Trey Schapp wrote, and I keep it on my phone right now because I need to see it often.
It's not a good sign.
It's a terrible sign. And
I keep menus on my phone.
And
right before bed.
And I was so wrong because a couple times ago, I've been on Brandon's podcast a couple times, and 2 times ago I was like, Mississippi State's nothing compared to Arkansas. I was completely wrong because I'm going to read you this. I don't admit I'm wrong often. Here you go. Since 2012, over the last 14 seasons, Arkansas is 69-103. Arkansas has been the worst program in the conference. Worse than Missouri, worse than Mississippi State, worse than South Carolina, worse than Kentucky, worse than Vanderbilt. We are the worst. So it's a combination of our athletic director is terrible, and he can never get who he thinks he wants. We got close to Lane, didn't get Lane. There's a whole behind-the-scenes story that I can't wait to share about that one day when I won't get sued. And so we ended up with Sam Pittman. And then we had Golish. Golish was coming to Arkansas, and that fell through. And I don't know if Silverfield's good or not, but it's a mixture of being terrible for so long and us knowing that we got an also ran. So it's a combination of the two. That being said, people love Silverfield that know him, that he's the greatest guy. But we have just been beat with a stick so often that when someone lifts their hand, we flinch.
Well, there's a third element here. These Memphis coaches that succeed in Memphis and go on, Not exactly a shining reputation recently. You know, the guy Fuente went to Virginia Tech. That didn't work. The guy Norvell, I guess it worked for a minute, but then it didn't. So I don't know. I would rank Silverfield 3 out of those, and I would probably put Stein number 1 because I think he had the best transfer haul out of all these coaches. They really upgraded that Kentucky offensive line, that Kentucky offense. The transfer class he was able to put together is big time. And then Golish, I think, is a very good coach, but I was underwhelmed with the transfers he put together outside the quarterback.
How about Vanderbilt post Diego Pavia error? But Clark Lee, I went up to practice the other day. I mean, that team, the way that they run around, the way that they practice, he's built a program there. But now, obviously, they might be starting a freshman quarterback. They don't know. But talking to him, he felt like he's got more depth this year than he even had last year.
Well, it's kind of the opposite of the Silverfield situation where I hesitate to get on board with a coach because I don't really know. I know Clark Lee can coach his ass off. I know. You can tell me he's going to have a freshman quarterback, but hell, 2 years ago, if I told you, he's got this guy from out in New Mexico he brought in and he's going to be awesome, you would have said, "What? What are you talking about? You're stupid. You ugly. You cross-eyed. You Southern." And I've been like, well, there was no need for all those insults. But anyway, so yeah, I believe that's one of those programs that if I looked at the roster this year, nothing blows my skirt up, but I know the coach is good, so I just trust him, and I trust he's going to get something out of him.
Couple questions left. Do you like the Cowboys because Dak Prescott plays for them, or do you stomach the Cowboys only because Dak Prescott plays for them?
Bobby, I don't pray for much in this life. Just money, success, fame, women, all the things that I get. When I lay my pillow to bed at night, I just pray, God, Dak is my favorite Mississippi State person ever. I love everything about him. Could you please get him out of Dallas? Can you please do something? Because I spent my entire life hating the Dallas Cowboys, hating them. I hated them. I just, as a child of the 90s and when they dominated, I just couldn't stand it. I couldn't stand their fans. I couldn't stand Jerry Jones' face. I couldn't stand any of it. And then Dak was a 4th-round pick, 135th. And the Cowboys made him that pick and gave him the chance to start right away. And I was like, oh, yay, Cowboys. And then the fans don't appreciate him. They don't deserve him. I want him to go, I don't know, somewhere like the Dolphins and win 3 MVPs and 2 Super Bowls.
But do you like the Cowboys now more because he plays there? Do you want them to win?
Bobby, what am I not saying? I'm being clear as mud right now. I hate the Cowboys. I love Dak Prescott. I want him to win. If the Cowboys have to win because of that, yes, I am on board.
Okay.
Is there a team that you're looking at outside of the Rams that could compete this year for a Super Bowl championship that maybe some people aren't thinking about?
I mean,
there's 32 right now.
Say the Cowboys.
Yeah, no, I understand how many.
How many goddamn teams are there?
I know how many teams there are, dude. Okay. Okay. So this is. I hate what I'm about to do. I hate everything about it. But how about the fucking Cowboys, dude? They got Dak Prescott. Who, when he is healthy, plays at damn near an MVP level. He finished second for MVP a couple of years ago. Every time he's healthy, he's good. He's got great wide receiver over here, great wide receiver over here, and they have upgraded the defense. Caleb Downs is the draft pick. They got Quinnen Williams in the middle of the season last year. They got the guy from Green Bay last year. Like, they have upgraded the defense, and like the Eagles have traded A.J. Brown. The Eagles might come down a notch. The Giants, I know, are a little bit exciting. They're kind of stirring there. The Commanders are going nowhere. Like, that division is winnable. I would say the Cowboys, and I hate everything about what just came out of my mouth.
All right, this is the final question of the interview, and I want to say,
we're done already?
Well, you've done 20+ minutes. I mean, we can keep going. I don't want to. You have so many shows. I mean, what time you're done mostly sports already?
No, let me tell you something. There's a lot of people in this world that can tell me I have too many shows. You're not one of them.
Fair
you
enough.
got more shows.
That's
you got more fucking shows.
That's
dude.
fair. That's fair. Okay, we'll do another 5 minutes then. So my question was, of all the coaches, and we can do SEC, we can do Big Ten. I really don't. Maybe even Big 12. That's it. But of all the coaches that you've spent any time with, which one of them do you think you would actually be human friends with?
Probably Brett Bielema. I don't know. Just, Brett Bielema, he texts you in the morning and says, you want to go play 18, eat some sausages and have some beer? And I'm like, yeah, I want to do all of that. That seems like something he would do. It seems like something I would do. We're both fat. We're both, been around a while. I would definitely say Brett Bielema. But real quick, before I let you get away with just asking that question, can you tell me why Matt Cassel asked me an NFL question? Did you not tell him did I do college football? Kind of bullshit. Ask me an NFL question.
It is definitely an NFL kind of sponsored show, right?
So that's a good point. We are an NFL show.
One question.
Yeah.
One question.
You know what? Actually, Clean this up in post. Great question, Matt.
I hate the Cowboys, but they could win it all.
When you said the Brett Bielema answer, you made it seem like he does text you that. So the whole beginning of that felt like, yeah, when Brett Bielema texts me that and we go play golf, has that actually not happened and you just made that whole story up?
We haven't played golf. All right. You want somebody I don't know? Oh, you know what? Have you watched this Summerall cat from Florida much? That came from Tulane.
Yep, and we've talked to him a couple times. I think he's great.
Yeah, he seems like a dude too. I just in my line of work, I try not to, and I take a different approach from a lot of guys. A lot of guys want the access. They want to talk to coaches. I want to talk to as few coaches as possible because I want to be able to come on here and say when a coach is full of shit. And I believe one of the biggest strengths a college coach can have because of the ridiculous nature of coaching is being full of shit. So, like, I try not to get too close to him, but that John Summerall seems like a dude.
What do you think about Drink?
Drink's just a nerd, but like a nerd I'd love to have running my football program.
Yeah.
Like I just said about Bielema, I think on Saturdays outside the season he's eating sausage and drinking beer and doing all that. I think outside the season, Drink is looking at spreadsheets and living in Excel, making sure he's got the right analytical approach. That's what I think about him, and that's probably a good thing to have.
Is there a coach that you absolutely despise?
Yeah, like 19 of them. Yeah, most of them, Matt. I don't like most of them.
Is there one? Because we were talking with the coach last week, and he didn't know we were recording, and he was saying stuff because he just trusted the conversation because I know him a little bit, and he was kind of saying some pretty negative personal stuff about a couple of other coaches, and then we got a call going, hey, were you recording that? And I was like, yeah, we said we're on. And so we just thought he was giving us great information. And they were like, hey, would you pull that? He didn't know you were recording. So we did pull it. And some of these coaches hate each other. Like, they personally cannot stand each other. And this one coach was talking about how fake another coach is. Like, his whole persona is fake. Who would you say fits that bill as someone who presents something they're really not?
So the Dabo Swinney Memorial Award, huh? I mean, listen, Dabo knows how to preach it, knows how to present it, knows how to absolutely. But I just got to think when you get in those back rooms and you're planning the roster and you're planning everything, he's a dog, right? He's a nasty dog that knows where to bury everything. So Dabo's always been one that I've accused publicly of just being, you're just so full of it, man. You're just so full of it. I think Kirby's full of it. I think Kirby does the all shucks, like poor little Georgia sometimes. He does that. And, when it comes to player acquisition and it comes to getting in meetings, and like, that guy is just an absolute beast, and he's an absolute cutthroat guy. So those are two guys that come to my mind. But really, if you think of what the modern college, let's say the Power Four, and there's 65 of them, I think, the modern college football coach is such a ridiculous position.
Over the years, we've covered the Big Ten, but Penn State and James Franklin came to mind when Bobby just brought up that last question, at least talking to some of the previous alumni and everything like that. How do you think he's going to do at Virginia Tech now this year?
I think it's fascinating. I think James Franklin spent 10 years winning at a reasonably high level at Penn State, and Penn State fans and the rest of college football acted like he was garbage. Like, his biggest crime over that 10-year stretch was he couldn't beat Ohio State and he couldn't beat Michigan in a lot of years. You know who else was guilty of that? All of college football. Who else was beating Ohio State in those years? Nobody. And then he gets to the Final Four a couple of years ago. They're tied in the fourth quarter with 2 minutes left. Drew Aller throws a ridiculous pick. Notre Dame beats them. They were seconds away from playing for a national championship. And then I believe less than 4.5 games or 5 games later, he's fired. So James Franklin is a very good coach. It started in Nashville, a decade ago. He was very good there. He got them going. He got Penn State going when they were in the weeds for a while until he got there. He gets them going, and now he goes to Virginia Tech, another program who's been dead and asleep. And frankly, I'm glad the Hokies are back. I'm glad they're going to be interesting. I think it's the perfect landing spot for him. He lands at a place that you can win at, and there's a lot of passion. So I love the Franklin story this year at Virginia Tech.
All right, the Brandon Walker College Football Show, it now exists. Episode 1 with Josh Pate. And, a surprise. Josh Pate was sitting right there next. I was surprised, Brandon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, you know what?
That was one of the
Kayfabe's a hell of a
interviews.
thing, man.
I just want to be one of those callers that leaves the voicemail because I listened to it and I heard some of these voicemails. And your reaction to some of these voicemails are one of the funniest things I've ever heard.
Yeah, I know that I gotta clean my act up a little bit, not cuss as much. But then I say that I will say, you know what? I'll talk to my wife at breakfast in the morning, and like, honey, you know what? Today I'm not going to be angry. I'm not going to fly off the handle. I'm not going to cuss anybody. And then 30 seconds later, the voicemail clicks on, and I'm like, this motherfucker here. so there's nothing really I can do to turn that off, and I guess that's a good thing.
All right, the Brandon Walker College Football Show, and also literally my number one favorite podcast in the whole world is, as Dave calls it, Almost Sports with Brandon Walker. It's actually called Mostly Sports. I listen to it every single day. It is my number one, but only because the Brandon Walker College Football Show hasn't existed until now again. So I hope everybody checks out the Brandon Walker College Football Show, watches on YouTube if that's how you get it, or subscribe on podcast. Brandon, massive fan. Talk to you soon.
Yep.
Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, see you, man.
All right, thanks to Brandon. Thanks to Matt Cassel. So we have a baby, and the baby's teething right now. And
Drool everywhere.
hard crying.
Crying all day.
Hard, just at the top of her lungs, and we feel so bad for her. And we could see them underneath a little bit. It's two of them, and one of them, I learned the term is erupted. One of them erupted finally.
Nice.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
And that other one now is killing her. So we're going through it. And there's different versions of going through it, I've learned. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure you've been through many versions with your kids at all ages of going through it. But we're going through that right now, and it is it's really intense. And not only that, I've not had an assistant for a long time, for about a year. I had a good assistant for a while, and they moved on. And I thought, I'm just going to kind of raw dog this. And my assistant, for the most part, would just be running my calendar, at times advancing things if I was going in, mostly making sure things were good, because I'm just kind of popping one show to the next or one thing. And so I hired a new assistant, and with this assistant, I thought, what if they have a little bit of childcare skills?
That's a great idea.
Because my wife doesn't want a full-time person there all the time.
Right. Is that a pride thing? My wife was full pride.
I think it's a bit of pride and a bit of how
with the first three.
and a bit of how she grew up.
Yeah.
So it's both, and I thought, well, let me hire somebody that's going to help me, but also is there in case. And so yesterday was first day she was supposed to start, and so she was starting, and she was going to come over and help with Billy for 2 hours or so. And Billy's been teething, and my wife has really not had much time. And the first day, she came over and she was sick. We had to send her home.
Oh no! Oh no! Worst case scenario, she didn't call ahead and just she didn't come.
She came. It's probably really bad allergies, because I have them. My nose was bleeding this morning like crazy from allergies, and it's probably allergies. And she's like, I'm certain. And it was her first, and so we were just like, just go home. It's fine. But I had to run through that.
Yeah, yeah. We had a lady come, same thing, to come do like a 2-hour kind of run through, potential nanny to help out. Well, I think we just had our 5th, and she goes upstairs, and we're going to let her, we told her about the nap time routine. This is what we're doing. We're going to, you put her in a crib, swaddle her, whatever it might be. She dropped the kid. The kid had a bloody nose. Full, and she came in, she's like, I am so sorry. Like, I was going, and she kind of twisted out of my hand and dropped it. The kid has a bloody nose. Long story short, she didn't get hired, but she felt so bad.
I bet she did.
And at the same time, you're sitting there going, oh my God, like, you just dropped the kid on day one.
That sucks for everybody.
It sucks for everybody, because she was the sweetest lady, but like, you dropped the kid. Speaking of sickness, my kids, starting Thursday night, they've had some kind of stomach virus.
Really? Did they have the lettuce diarrhea?
I have no idea. They're now eating solids and getting back to normal protocol here, but I mean, they couldn't trust the fart for like 5 days. I mean, I was like, oh my God, dude, what is going on? Like, this is crazy, because I thought it was the lettuce thing, but they said it was violent for 14 days, and the fact that they're already eating again, and like I said, coming back to normalcy. But I felt so bad for those kids. My wife and I didn't get it. We're good till tomorrow. Watch.
You got through today, though.
Yeah, I got through today.
The final thing I wanted to bring up, with a perfect rating of 5.0, you can go and get a Matt Cassel cameo.
Whoa!
When's the last time you did one of those?
You know what? I am not the best at always being able to respond to people's cameos. So like they even at one point put me on restriction. You have to finish 3 in a row in order. And some of them, I don't know how to pronounce the names that they're sending me or what they're really asking. And I'll write back on the like DM, hey, can you please specify exactly what you're talking about here? I love the ones that are like fantasy football where you run down, they give you the names of the people and this, that, and the other, and you kind of give them a little stuff, or birthday wishes. But some of them are like in depth. This is my CEO. It's his 65th birthday. Couldn't pronounce his name to save my life or even understand how to even comprehend what they're asking me to tell him in this thing. And I'm like, I'm going to hold off on this one. But then like they check you. Have you ever done that? Mm. I ran into that guy at the Super Bowl when we were there doing the interviews. And he's like, Matt, I've been trying to get you to sign up for this for however long. And I was like, okay. He's like, do you have your phone with you? He signed me up at the Super Bowl, right? So I had no other choice. So signed up, but it's a great deal, pretty cool concept.
I think people should ask you to do their fantasy lineups and their orders.
They can ask anything.
Well, I'm saying that I think if people were watching this going, hey, we should find an interesting way to have our fantasy draw for the order of draft, there should be you that does it. Get a cameo.
Get a cameo.
Freaking Matt Cassel.
Yeah, who knew?
I want to get one today. If you see me pop through.
Can you imagine?
All right, that's it. That's Matt Cassel. That's Kickoff Kevin. That's Brandon Ray. I'm Bobby Bones. Thanks again to Brandon Walker. And we will see you guys next week on Lots to Say. Bye, everybody.